I heard some lyrics in the end there, but I couldn't tell if it was actually playing a song or not. Northeast still, okay. There they are. A wind confluence. The wind has stayed the fog that covered this island, and the air. It no longer feels quite so stifling. As by the beating of mighty wing doth a wind blow, where dragons may ne'er again touch the sky, he and the shade he bore shall soar free. If I had known this place would claim Estinian too, No, that's not what... It had to be done. Must this always be the price paid for safe passage? Look there, the wind. This is Estinian's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride this flow and see where it leads. Alright, let's hop in the confluence. Whee! That's really pretty nebula. Destination. A powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The other scions will arrive before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war, yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for whatever he believed was right. And he's still fighting, Alphanode, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alize is right. We must press on, for their sake. That quest was called the Test of Will. Nice, level 90. Second level 90. And now I get some more Dragon Gauge stuff. Oh, okay, I get another meter. Which is from this. Delivers an attack, all enemies, straight line, before... so it's literally just these. Oh, come on, this is another part of my AoE combo now. Whatever. Oh, okay, it's like, okay, I see. It's like these which change. Anyway, I'll figure out how to use that eventually. Which means the last class that I have that can do this that isn't level 90 is Dark Knight. So I guess I'll keep doing these quests as Dark Knight. First, let's go ahead and talk to everyone. And we'll continue on. Though it pains me to say it, we can ill afford to stop and grieve our comrades' passing. No, there will be time enough after. To feign bravety with bold words is a simple matter, but without the strength of will to match, we are powerless against Dynamis. Not less than unshakable conviction will suffice, which makes me question if I am up to the task. Graha, you had that conviction for like 100 years. You went back in time to another universe, another world, and you still had your conviction. I think you'll be fine now. No choice have we but to march onward, lest we squander the noble sacrifices. We have to keep going, even if Estinian isn't here to see it. I'm sure Alphanode wouldn't want to disappoint him. Oh, I'm sure. Roads paved. Sacrifice. These keep getting weirder. Alpha Node has regained his composure and is ready to proceed. As Y'shtola and Alize said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings? Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. It would be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in this sand. Okay. Okay, let's see. Aether compass? Northeast. Okay, we should be able to get one in just a second. Should be like right up here. I want to get it first before we look at this. If I can. Northeast still. Is it at the top of this thing? Maybe. Can I even get to the top of it? Let me make sure it's... Okay, west. It's probably at the top of this then. Come on. Let's get to the top. Anytime now. Oh, there we go. First Aether Current. And then let's jump off and make sure I don't land next to an enemy. Let's see. We need to go this way. And I don't see an enemy, so let's go. As long as you're not in combat, you can't die from fall damage. Sand. Sand everywhere. If not for the light emitted by these glyphs, I might well have overlooked this monolith. If you were worried about my vision, you needn't be. I can still see quite well. Another seemingly barren world. For a mercy, the air is nowhere near as stale, but still quite dry, and the sand will no doubt prove bothersome in due time. Yeah, especially since it's getting in all their shoes. Don't want to track sand into the Ragnarok. Were it not for the violet crystals embedded in its surface, 'twould appear as an ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it. Oh, right, this is Y'shtola, not Urianger. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song and eschew the written word entirely. So we may assume this is a work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Meteon claimed the dragons would suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. Fascinating as this script is, we will glean not from what we cannot decipher. I'll get deciphering then. What do you suppose is over there? A monster? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as the monument. Oh yeah, I see there. Well, both of those. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. Oh, let's head on over there. Oh, am I gonna have to go all the way back to the top? Probably not. Oh no, never mind. It had the up arrow for a second there, but apparently just going up this dune was enough. Ghostly figure. Hello there. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Ah, forgive me. I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention. Ia, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature, to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kopkud. Yes, Kopkud. Kud. Of the Ia. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that wholly without a voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as this place is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response, my present is positive then. That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ia are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the 5 senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I've prepared 188,712,180,827. I don't think we'll have time for that. That's a rather lot, isn't it? Ah, my apologies. I've omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispense with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for flesh. For the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why, to bring the end of our existence, of course. What? What? Okay. Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a simple manner to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguinators. But such death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. How lovely. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ia, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ia wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. Interesting. Okay, let's check the Aether Compass. West. Okay, let's head over there then. Yeah, let's just go ahead and grab that right now. I don't want to deal with it later. Yep, it's right there. That's easy. Alright. Is there another one near? North. Okay, that's actually not that far either. Guess I'll go ahead and grab that too if I can. Can I get to it? Oh, I think I saw it there. Nope, that wasn't it. Where is it? Northwest, this way. Probably at the end there. There it is. Okay, let's see if there's any other ones. East. Okay, let's head to the objective then. Want to get this aether crystal. Let's see, where's the aether current? North. Okay, that's actually like right there, so I'm going to get that too. All right, where is it? Oh, there it is. I wonder why they loaded all four of these up on this island and put none on the first island. I'll definitely want to look at the map of this afterwards. Okay, the next one's probably going to be to the west. East. Oh, I meant east, yes. Alright, let's actually go in and talk to these people now. Is this most of the island? Yeah, it is. They said there would be others, but I don't know what I was expecting. Something tells me we have different definitions of the word abode. The Isle of Dragons was shrouded in the silence of the dead, yet the stillness here doth suggest the ear are, by and large, merely sleeping. Oh, wake up, everyone! More violet-colored crystals. I cannot place my finger on it, but there is something unsettling about them. I should not be surprised their concept of a village is so different from ours. And yet... Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles. Though the quizzical expression indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violent crystalline structures hanging from the stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of the work to regain corporal bodies? An astute question, and understandable, given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If, in our idleness, we are struck by a sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. Okay. Even should they elect not to emerge, you need but cast your thoughts to the crystals to communicate with the Ia within. Okay. Let's go talk to him. Let's go talk to them. You cast your thoughts towards the crystalline domicile, and there's no response. I need to make sure to attune to the aetherite here. You wish to speak? Very well. Pray, a moment, if you would. Okay. I guess you don't want to talk right now. Alright, we got 2 more of these. Why seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? Yeah, so basically these people, because of their infinite because of their infinite lifespans, have basically found no reason to do literally anything other than, like, do nothing. Because, like, they'll get inspiration, do whatever they need to, and then just not do anything. They're, due to not having a finite nature, they see no reason to rush on anything. Ah. A strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. Must have been Balmug. Oh, right, it didn't seem like anyone really cared. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? Not really. I see. If they failed to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. Okay, I wonder where the rest of everyone else is, if I can talk to them. I don't really feel like figuring that out now. Flesh abandoned, Delta. Kof Cod languidly awaits their brethren's arrival. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Ia have awakened. Ah, there they are. May I introduce you to La Laka, Du Dika, and Na Need. It has been too long, Kopkon. Kud. I dare say, Satyr 4 has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some of them had become. Travelers? Ah, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms, and the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarities in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kud, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Ah, yes. So long has it been, I had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nanigd. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much. Of course, food. The custom to serve food. Beings of flesh, such as they might regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. I'm not going to turn down food. That's right! We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. This is gonna be like, Old Charliean food, isn't it? With no flavor. Purely nutritional value. To think I had forgotten what had become of the archives. How much has my essence deteriorated since I was last awake? Not that I am averse to having my mind fade away in this manner. It isn't so unlike the natural degradation of one's flesh. How delightful. Throughout the universe, but few races have completely shed their flesh as we have. As a result, we seldom receive visitors from other systems. Extreme difference can inhibit meaningful interaction, you see, and none more so than those which affect communication. Most entities, for example, cannot even comprehend our words. You are rare indeed in your ability to do so. You avail yourself of Dynamis, yes? It is an impressive application, even if it is ultimately pointless like all the rest. How much ether would be adequate for your kind, I wonder? As I recall, there is a fine line between optimal satiation and violent sickness. I don't know, let's ask Gurianje. Let's talk to everyone first. We were told to stand wherever we like. This strikes me as less of a meal and more of a ritual. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Judging by the construction of this facility, it would seem the ear directly draw upon the ether. Ether, they said, but I can't help but feel a bit nervous. If they are thus able to replenish their ether, the loss of vital sustenance isn't like to be cause of their demise. If it is as I suspect, then this so-called feast... Actually, let's just see for ourselves. Fear not, we are not like to come to harm. Oh, that's nice. That's reassuring. I cannot help but feel a rush of excitement when I see your pliable yet sturdy form. I almost have to resist the urge to open up and see how it all works. Please don't. I would prefer to stay intact. Now, be at ease. I would not devolve to such savagery. I may have cast off my body, but I still possess some semblance of rational mind. For the moment, at least. How delightful. Oh, let's go see what this ritual is. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Okay. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with the purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. Okay. This does have me a bit nervous, but Y'shtola says we'll be fine, so I guess that's fine. I guess we'll be fine. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Or perhaps you need to wait a little longer. I bet it's happening and we just can't really absorb on demand. You brace yourself again, but again, nothing seems to happen. Just as I had suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the Ea's homeworld, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious of this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amurat. Interesting. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So, did you have your fill of ether? Oh yes, quite. Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? We eat this really bland bread called Archon loaf. Through our mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouth serves not only to expel sound, but to draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. regrettably could not partake in your magnificent feast. Rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but to wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? Your flesh and blood are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Ea yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we have believed we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespans were distressingly middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make even greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. Interesting. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomenon, and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believed we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the contribution of our conservation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unmistakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms. Their lives are readily ended. As those who had gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegia. To define the laws of creation would have been no small feat, even for the Ea. Nay, having eternal life and hence no sense of haste would only have made it harder. Such tremendous drive for knowledge they once must have had, and I struggled to reconcile it with the listless beings before us. Whatever answers they found, it did not bring them happiness. Like her master, Y'shtola seeketh the truth of creation. How will the truth of the Ea, who uncovered all only to desire the end, fall upon her ears? That's true, I was kind of thinking of that. You may be intimately familiar with a problem, know it like the back of your hand, yet be powerless to solve it. In the course of my struggles, I've often been made keenly aware of this fact. I wonder, have the Ea never felt the same frustration? 'Tis true that a lack of knowledge can beget fear. Therefore, in theory, by acquiring all knowledge, it may be possible to attain peace. But as Heidelin told us, all those peoples who attempted to free their worlds from the life's woes met with failure. And the Ea are among them, as their presence here attests. The tale we are about to hear will not be a happy one. A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to their indolent end. Oh, okay, let's just do one more. Okay, we're almost to the end of this section. Let's just go ahead and do it. Talk to H-Toller first, actually. She probably has something new to say. Before we hear the climax of the Ea's tale, mayhap I should speak of... On second thought, it would only be a distraction. We will talk more when the time is right. That's a kind of a creepy picture. Where knowledge leads, and it uses infinity there. Something seems to be weighing on Urianger's mind. Ere we join the Ea, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Brilliant Grahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianger, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Elegia. Elegia, lest you worry, we won't start without you. Oh, let's see what shenanigans Urianger has planned. Check the Aether Compass again. Okay, northeast. Probably like up here or something. Looks like Urianger wants to take us all the way back to the desert. Alright, Urianger. What do you what are we gonna be doing now? A spring, and a sizable one at that. I hadn't noticed it amongst the dunes. Aye, this place shall serve. It is the spring you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. That's what I thought. Because Ishtola might be thinking some things right now. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra. They believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Interesting question. I do not know. Meteon has taken their hearts unto herself. Meteon made contact with them whilst they still lived. I'd say it's probably the first, because she said that she communicated and shared their everything. I'm inclined to agree. If Meteon can take the emotions of others as her own, I dare say she would be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them whilst they still lived, and the dragons and the Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how these two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteon perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an Enteleki. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired cessation of their existence, yep, she would be powerless before that desire. Yep. That's the conclusion I came to. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteon did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons in the Ea unto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find a way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearnest most desperately for oblivion? Meteon? Why do you tell us this now? Never again I would betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my words. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. Well, basically it's payback. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, knowing full well we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs to go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance for the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all that we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. So Urianger is going to be the next one to sacrifice himself. At least that's what I'm reading in this. I shall, my friend, I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go to join our comrades. Oh, Graha, that was a bit of a loaded conversation. ... Let us be off to an Allegia. Let's see, yeah, okay, it's over there. Let's go ahead and teleport back, and then I'm going to turn in this quest, and I think we're going to go ahead and stop there for today. I understand you've taken care of business. If you are ready to begin, then so are we. While we waited, we mentioned our star's situation to the Ea. They nodded sagely, or something to that effect. Come, let us hear the Ea's tale, and learn what caused such enlightened beings to crave nihility. Don't mind me. We have prepared our recounting to facilitate comprehension. The information will be simplified to match your primitive minds. Your companion in the front, the one called Y'shtola, she seems the keenest to learn the truth. I pity her. It would seem your star too has been plunged into a panic-induced cataclysm. We hope that our tale will not serve to exacerbate it. You are here already? Your comrade said you would be late. Well, let's go ahead and talk to Y'shtola. It seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then? I suspect there's going to be a cutscene for this. So let's get watching it.
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well.
Oh, I like my voice better.
That the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter onto an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort.
Cold comfort.
Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, We likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge.
No, I don't think I will.
Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
What's Y'shtola got to say about this?
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it.
Yeah, that sounds like her.
Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the Aya. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Oh, okay, it's gonna be Y'shtola, yeah.
You mustn't!
Not Urianger. Which is why he told us. I thought it was Urianger that was gonna sacrifice himself, but it's actually Y'shtola.
Is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay. 'Tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value.
Ooh, that's a good way of phrasing it.
This is what has sustained me. Driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught. But I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge. And no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you. And we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
And little black bird.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it.
I mean, we've done it twice already. For her.
Asm's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back.
That's right, we still have the magic granted by Hydaelyn.
But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Okay, I don't see why Urianger is doing this.
Urianger.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
Well, they're gone. Again, this would hit way harder if I didn't know all of them lived.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Did you just try looking up for the first time?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born.
Well, kind of messed that up.
This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Atheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Every single one of the cutscenes that Dark Meteon has been in has been slightly unsettling, and it's been like good camera work and been good like it's like they do like a slightly tilted camera just to like make you, it's enough for you to notice it but not enough to mess up the scene, or like doing the where the camera's too close to her face and that kind of thing, and I'm loving every second of it. I did not expect it, but I'm loving it.